This review is totally late. It's a late review. It's for the Hateful Eight. And maybe you've seen it, maybe not. Maybe so. I don't know. But it's Quentin Tarantino. It's his 8th movie. If you haven't seen it, you might as well. It's fucking Quentin Tarantino. What the fuck else are you doing with your life? I like Quentin Tarantino just fine. I don't think he's not my favorite director. I don't even know if he's in my top 10. It's funny because like he is one of the best directors ever. And I love his stuff, but for some reason I just don't put him in that category, and I'm not really sure why. I really like the idea that he shot this on 70mm, which allows you to get things that are further out in the distance into the shot, which is really, really cool. Crisp detail in those mountains, and then up close as well is just incredible. It's a really simple concept. It's 8 haters in a cabin, and they drink a lot of coffee, and they talk shit, and they shoot each other. I think what was most interesting about this film, right off the bat, was the idea of having 8 characters, because that's obviously a lot of characters, and that's a lot of motive that you have to get across on screen. You have to make sure that every character is somewhat fleshed out, so there's a point in calling it 8 instead of just being your 8 movie, and so you just like write in a fucking couple extra characters that will die off quick or something. But he didn't do that. He actually had fleshed out characters, and I thought that was really interesting. They're obviously not as deep as you'd expect because, well, there's 8 characters. There's actually a couple more, I think. And ultimately, you can't have each character have some deep motive. You have to skip through that somehow. You have to have some sort of approach, and he had a great approach. His approach was just making him mysterious and using that unknowing to his advantage, which he did really, really well. And as you slowly go through the film, you find out more about every character, and then you understand what's going on. You understand their place in the puzzle, and you see the big picture, and it's a bloody picture. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie. Shocking. The movie doesn't come without its flaws. It's hard to say anything bad about Quentin Tarantino. It's fucking Quentin Tarantino. I wonder how many times I'm going to say that in this review, but it's hard to say anything bad, obviously. But with that being said, I felt like some of the acting was a little cheesy.
Before you approach, you take them 2 guns of yours and you lay them on that rock over yonder. And you raise both your hands way above your hat. And then you approach.
He just seemed like he was, he just seemed like Kurt Russell dressed up as a cowboy. He didn't seem like a cowboy. And that kind of bummed me out, man. I wanted to see gritty cowboys. I expected gritty, rough characters, and they are, but they feel like actors portraying that. You know, it's like when you see a play, you're never immersed in a play. You're not like, oh my god, like it looks like I'm looking into another world. It's not that it's bad though. It's just you can tell they're acting these parts, and a good actor hides that. They hide the fact that they're acting. You know, it's like if you see a certain actor play too many roles, you always see him as that. You may see him as his best role ever instead of the role that he's currently playing or something. I couldn't get past the fact that it was just Kurt Russell putting on a Kurt Russell performance. Like, it just did not feel authentic. And that sucked. I really wanted to get pulled in. But I did later. Later on, I believed his acting a little bit more. It was just at the beginning, for whatever reason that is. Same with Samuel L. Jackson.
I don't want to work that hard.
No one said the job's supposed to be easy.
No one said it's supposed to be that hard, neither.
He's just being Samuel Jackson as a cowboy, but like not as a cowboy. He's just being himself in some cowboy clothes. Like I was like, oh, okay, all right, let's do this. The premise was simple. I really liked that it was just set in one location, and it kind of played out in this like ultimate play where every set piece has purpose. The coffee is a big part of it. Everybody wants coffee, and it makes sense because it's like cold as fuck out there, and I'm like, dude, yeah, I'd totally go for the coffee if I was out there. Some warm ass fucking coffee, I'd be sipping that shit all night long. I'd be pouring out my toes and shit. I get weird with it. Before I say anything else, I don't know about you, but I really did not know what to expect at all. When the sheriff was sitting there with Warren, I honestly thought he was going to turn on him. This is fucking Wild West. These motherfuckers are ruthless. They're out for themselves. Like, yeah, he's going to kill this motherfucker. But he doesn't. He totally keeps his trust with him. And that was really cool. That was just, it's just like a yes. Like, everything's right in the universe. All right. In the Quentin universe, yes. I like that. I think one of the best scenes is Jody, the gang leader. How it goes back in time and it shows, 4 hours earlier, the whole setup, what all happened, and it answers a lot of questions, like the jelly bean stuck between the floor rafters and the blood stain on the chair, and Jody's character. You think he's gonna like come in and start wrecking shit because, he's the only one not shot at that point. When he starts coming up from the floor, you think like, okay, shit's like somehow he's gonna get a gun, something's gonna happen, somehow there's gonna be this altercation. Nope. Homeboy just shoots him in the back of the head. That's something that you never see in movies. Whenever like the main villain shows up, he always has some big part to play. He always has some big speech. None of that shit happened. Abruptly gets shot in the back of the head. And then when Daisy's fucking chopping off Homeboy's arm, and then like it's dangling from her chain, and then she gets hung and it's still dangling, like that was intense, but pretty funny, oddly enough. At the beginning, you want to see what's on that letter. It's really interesting. And then the hangman's reading it, and he kind of gets emotional from it, and you're like, what's on the letter, man? Read the fucking letter out loud. Part of me thought, like, oh, fuck, man, we're never going to know what's on this letter. And then you find it's a fake. I did not expect the letter to be at the very last scene of the film. It also threw me for a loop because when they were both dying, when they're laying on the floor and in the bed, they both have their eyes closed, and you start hearing some noise in the background. For me, I was like, oh shit, the gang is coming. Like, the gang's gonna come and they're gonna fuck them up. But it's not the gang at all. It's just some like windy noise. And that threw me for a loop because I was like, oh shit, somebody's coming. And then he's like, Warren. And Warren wakes up.
Hey.
What? And you're like, yeah, what? Like, is a cowboy gonna fucking kick down the door and then like suddenly it fades to black and you hear gunshots or some shit? Nope. It's just straight up.
Can I see that Lincoln letter?
You're like, whoa. And then he gets the letter and he reads it. That was probably my favorite scene where he's reading the letter. It was just such a great way to close out the film. This is one of my favorite Quentin Tarantino movies, actually. I think it's one of the most visually stunning films he's ever done. I think it looked better than Kill Bill, which is like probably his peak. Visually, it's just such a stunning movie. And I really want to watch it again. It felt like an updated Reservoir Dogs in an odd way. Like, instead of doing this like heist mystery, it's like this cowboy mystery, and it felt very much in the same vein as Reservoir Dogs, just this like cleaned up version, and that was pretty neat. And a lot of the same actors. Ultimately, bravo to Quentin Tarantino. He knows how to make a movie.